Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're doing a review on the Dr. Stirrup Arrolok Quiver. I got some neighbors mowing, you're gonna have to excuse that. I'm sorry. I'll still talk loud so you can hear me, but it's far too nice to do this review inside, and the grass has been growing a lot. We've got a lot of rain lately, so can't really blame them. Anyways, back to the quiver. So this particular model is the 3-arrow version. And before I get too deep into this, I want to let you know I did not purchase this particular quiver. Now, what that means, I purchased the 5-arrow version of this. While waiting for the 5-arrow version that I purchased from a separate company, not the direct, from a separate company, I got in contact with the owner of Dr. Stirrup. And you'll forgive me, I forgot your name. I'll put it down here. He's a fantastic guy. Had a great phone conversation with him. I told him that I was going to do a review of the quiver for my YouTube channel, and he insisted that he send me a 3-arrow version with all the mounting options. Very, very thankful for him for doing that, but I wanted to let you guys know that I did not pay for this and that it's not going to affect my honesty of the review either. I want to be very honest with you guys. I don't want you wasting money on things that aren't worth it. I would prefer you spend money on things that I do think are worth it. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty about the quiver. Talk about some things I like first, and then some things I hate, and we'll talk about price points and things of that nature. So, things I love. This has a arrow retention system that is much different than anything else on the market, and it's actually what drew me to buy it. It uses a plunger system that's up here in the hood. So if you watch close, see the arrow movement right there? That's all it takes to get your arrow out, is a slight up movement, and then it's ready to rock and roll. Same putting it in, slight up movement, drop it down here in these cups. Now, I was concerned a little bit about arrow retention, but after getting it and playing with it, I'm not concerned about arrow retention anymore. I crawled all over my yard with it too and drug the quiver on the ground, you know, trying to pop the arrow out. Don't come out. So in my opinion, this probably has the best arrow retention of anything on the market, because I have popped arrows out of other quivers doing exactly what I just did. Another thing I really like is that it protects your nocks. Now, there's circumstances that have allowed me or driven me to like those things. For example, this is very, very quiet to take out. Very, very quiet. And it doesn't require any herky-jerky motions like if you pop an arrow out of a quiver. I've lost opportunities, second shot opportunities, and opportunities to shoot, tongue twister, to shoot second animals, popping arrows out of quivers. Much quieter than a standard quiver. To me, I'm gaining opportunities that I can capitalize on. Same here. I've lowered my bow down, getting out to go to lunch, and I've filled my nocks with dirt, and then I've had deer walk out right after that, and no way to clean out those nocks. I can't get the arrow on my string good enough to make an accurate shot. Watch those deer walk out of my life. Now I'm protecting those nocks, and again, giving myself another shot opportunity. That's a big deal to me when I'm hunting. Most shot opportunities, just numbers alone, the more opportunities you have, the more you're gonna kill. Just math. There are some things that I don't like about this quiver. You know, before I get into that, one thing I do like also is there's a ton of different mounting options for this. You can mount this, of course, on your bow sight. That's normal. And it's just a real simple mounting system. Those two little nodules right there, it's just slide down into 2 sleeves, and then a rubber strap goes over top and holds it in place. Now, it's steady, like it's not going anywhere once you do that, but it is simple. You can mount it on your quiver or on your bow sight. Then they have this thing called a 0 tilt 360 something, the name will be down here what it's actually called, bracket that mounts the quiver on the rest side of your bow. Now this is strange because I don't believe any other company has done this. But when I talked to the owner, he made some sense when he was explaining why. The biggest thing he kind of drove home to me is for a spot and stalk guy. And it makes sense. If you're crawling, for example, on your belly, and you're a left-handed, or you're a right-handed shooter, this is how you generally lay your bow down. Usually your quiver would be underneath here, and you'd be dragging arrows. It's on top now. Now say you get up on your knees, and you're hunting in a scenario where you don't really have any cover to get behind. You're on a sage flat, for example, or sage plain or whatever. You get up on your knees and you draw your bow and your quiver's on this side. What do you got? you got all of you back here sticking out of your bow and all your quiver. But with the quiver on this side, you draw that bow, what do you got? You got a quiver with arrows helping to break up your outline further. So there is that advantage also. Now a downside maybe is you can't grab your arrows like you normally would necessarily and load them. So like you do usually. So with this it's a little more difficult. You have to reach across you, but because it's so easy to get arrows out, it's not that big a deal. It's really not. You know what I'm saying? Just a little practice and it's a no-brainer, easy to do type of deal. So one thing I don't like about this bracket, I can't get it to stay tight so it doesn't rock like that. And I'm gonna have to talk to the owner about that a little more, but I've tried wrenches and everything else to tighten it down up front here and I still can't get it to lock in tight. So I'm gonna see if it's something I'm doing wrong. I'll talk to the owner, we'll find out. The last thing is, they actually make a mount to turn it into a hip quiver. You just slide your belt through here, put it on your hip, and the quiver attaches like normal. Now the quiver itself, on this little piece right here, can actually be loosened and adjusted so you can rotate it 360 degrees. So you can adjust it on your quiver, on that side mount, on your hip mount, whatever you got to do to make it fit what you need it to do, which I really like also. There's a lot of adjustability there. Now, to get into some things I don't care for. Pretty heavy quiver. This one is 10 or 12 ounces. The actual weight will be down there. The 5-arrow quiver is a pound. It's a freaking heavy quiver, man. That's like real heavy. I think the heaviest quiver I've used up to this point is 8 ounces. So this blows it away. So what you have to do when you're looking at this quiver to purchase is you have to decide, is the weight worth the reward? My opinion, for what I do, yeah, it is. And even in a out west scenario where you're trying to save ounces, I think having this particular quiver on my bow is beneficial, so I will put the extra weight of a 3 or 5-arrow quiver on my bow. The protecting of the nocks, the plunger system that you can't get loose, and the quietness of taking it out of the quiver if you have to make a second shot, just to me increases my lethality more than what the weight is bad. That's really honestly the biggest thing I don't like about this quiver. It's long. It is longer than most quivers I'm used to, so, but a lot of tight spot guys have pretty long quivers too, and it does adjust longer to accommodate arrow lengths. That's another thing I don't like. All your arrows have to be the same length, so that means same broadhead arrow combination. Not a problem for most guys. I like to take a bunch of different broadheads in the woods generally, so I don't really care for that. But if you're the type of guy that runs the same 5 arrows with the same 5 broadheads in the same configuration, and that's what you go in the woods with, it's not going to be a problem for you. Again, it does adjust lengthwise, and I think it's 24 to 32 information down there to let you know exactly where it adjusts, and that could make it pretty long. These are 26-inch arrows carbon to carbon with probably another 2 inches in broadhead and lighted nock, so 28 overall. And you can see it's a pretty long quiver already. So that could be a downside for a lot of people. Again, not a big deal to me. Risk and reward type of deal. I believe the 3-arrow is 109 and the 5-arrow is 119. Like before, proper information, double checking myself down there at the bottom. I really like this quiver, man. I do. I still stand by what I said in that other video about the 3 most and 3 least important accessories. There's a link to that right there. A $20 quiver will do everything you need it to do, but if you're looking for a quiver that has a lot of extra benefits, I really think this is the way to go over like a tight spot or anything else on the market, because honestly, in my opinion, they don't give you much more than what a $20 quiver does. This does. You can take what you want, you know, it's one guy's opinion. Your opinion may be different than mine, whatever. So, in the description below, I'm gonna drop a link to where you can get these quivers directly from Dr. Stirrup. Then below that, you'll find a Strike Force affiliate link. They're a partner of ours. Strike Force Energy is a great company. They make a great product, 0 calorie, healthy, well, healthy as can be for an energy product. For you energy packet, and I like them a lot because they pack really well for hunting and they can mix right into your water bottle or any other drink you're drinking. And then below that, you'll see affiliate links to the camera gear I use to film these reviews and that I'm going to be filming with in hunting season in case you want to try some or look at some stuff for yourself. As always, guys, I do greatly appreciate you watching, and we will catch you on the next one.